Hello, everyone. Anil Ramcharita here, and I wanted to do a lesson around the topic today, being at risk for the outcome. I'm sure you've heard that saying before, being at risk for the outcome, but what exactly does that mean, being at risk for the outcome? Well, when you look at yourself and what you're up to, especially for someone like myself, or maybe you're listening in today, you're an entrepreneur, maybe you're building something for yourself and your family. Would you agree that when you wake up in the morning or when you go through the day or the week or the month, you need to have that laser sharp focus to not be distracted, to stay on your game and to avoid pitfalls that exist that may come up because life is like that. And when we're building something and when we're up to something spectacular, distractions come along, hurdles come along, setbacks come along, speed bumps come along, even disappointments come along. But what's very important to understand is you and I, we need to fortify our mind and fortify our heart so that we can weather the storm, as the saying goes. So being at risk for the outcome, what does that mean? Well, one of the things I've had to do personally over the years is become so disciplined that I am not easily distracted. So that's one way of being at risk for the outcome. Now, what does that mean? Well, sometimes, you may be doing your business or have calls and Zooms lined up, and people may go, hey, let's go to the lake, or we're taking a trip, or we're having a barbecue, or we're going to the club. Come with us. And so you have to ask yourself, okay, is that important right now? Is that a priority for me? Or is it building what I have? Because I have appointments, I have Zooms, I have something to do that is gonna advance me and advance what I'm up to. So are you someone that right away says no? Or are you easily, sure, I can cancel these appointments, that can wait, I'll come. So that's an interesting thought. Look at yourself as we have this discussion today and ask yourself, are you really at risk for the outcome? Here's another thought. How are you when it comes to partnering with people? Are you quick? Just because someone says something to you that you like, or they're being a certain way, instead of taking a deep breath and stepping back and doing your own due diligence on them and giving them time to prove themselves, are you quick to partner with them? See, that's another thing around being at risk for the outcome. There are people out there right now in this world, the way the world's trending, that are fake. They will tell you what you want to hear so that you hang around them. Here's another thing. There are people out there that are so narcissistic, they actually pay attention and watch how you are so that they can weasel themselves into your life and your business. They go on your social media and they look you up. And a lot of people put all their business on social media. So there is nothing hidden about you or mysterious about you. You're open and exposed on social media. So it's very easy for someone to go on your social media profile and really get a sense of who you are. And so it's easy for them to manipulate you or take advantage of you. So is that being at risk for the outcome? Not really. A sharp, shrewd business person who is creating anything significant is very careful about who they partner with. They're very, very careful. And they're not quick to jump into bed or jump into relationships with people. They're not. They value themselves so much that they're willing to wait and be patient because they have full faith everything is going to work out. So they're not quick to jump into things and form partnerships and sign paperwork and documents because what ends up happening? You do things in a hurry and haste, and then later on, now it's cost you time and money. This person has not been who they said they were, and now you have to now deal with that and the repercussions of that. And sometimes people don't recover from that. Sometimes it creates a rift between them and their other business partners. It creates a rift between them and their loved ones and their families. So be very, very careful who you align yourself with. So that's number two. Here's a third thing about being at risk for the outcome. How are you with your discipline on a daily basis? Are you constantly reaching out to new people? Are you forming new quality partnerships? Are you spending time or spending your time worthwhile ventures? Are you looking to align yourself with other platforms that add value to your current platform? See, that's another thing about being at risk for the outcome is what I call being in creative, rich environments, staying in creative, rich environments, partnering with other networks, other influencers, uh, doing partnerships with people who have something over here that can add value to what you have over here. And again, being very careful. You'll always hear me say this: walk carefully and carry a big stick with who you deal with. Test them out. Make sure they say they're who they are. Don't take people's words to you literally. You know, look beyond that. And I'm not saying don't be trustful. I'm not saying operate from a place of scarcity and looking at everything sideways. I'm just saying take into account and value yourself and protect what you have and what you're creating, and don't allow just anybody to be a part of it. Let me ask you a question. Let's just say you had two little kids, maybe 3 and 5. Would you just leave them with anybody? Would you just leave them unattended with just anyone? No. You'd be very careful who you leave these two little precious little gifts with. So, how are you with what you're up to in your business? Do you just let anybody come in? Do you just let anybody be a part of it? So think about that. That is also being at risk for the outcome. Is putting the brakes on, saying, okay, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're offering. I read all this great stuff about you online. You're telling me about the past you've had and all the great things you've done, but give me some time. I need to meditate on this. And take your time and make sure everything is in alignment and you feel right and you've done your due diligence on this person before you look to, as I said, jump into bed and partner with them. Be very, very careful. That's also being at risk for the outcome. It also shows how you are with your business. It shows that you're protecting what you're creating. You're being shrewd, you're being calculated, you're being organized, you're being trusting, yet you're putting people to the test. You're being very careful who you partner with because you understand what you're building is for you. These people may come and go. And I've done businesses where most businesses are like a revolving door. People come in the front, they go out the back. And the people you start with and the people you run with are rarely the people you finish with. That's been my experience. The people you start with, the people you run with, and the people you finish with are rarely the same group. Yeah, there may be a few that started with you that finish with you, but it's rarely that the same person stays with you the entire course unless they're an invested business partner. So be careful. That's another aspect of being at risk for the outcome. And I wanted to share something with all of you to help you understand what I'm talking about. This is something I live by that it keeps me on the straight and narrow, and it'll really help you. Um, it's one of my things that keep me focused on a daily basis, and I'll read it for you. It says, "Don't get mad, don't be bitter, don't even seek revenge, don't get even. Become so engulfed in your own happiness and success that you do not realize it happened." Like you're so focused on your happiness and your success that you didn't even realize what's built around you because it's incredible. And finally, become much better than you currently are. The late Jim Rohn that I got to train with and mentored me on 3 occasions, he taught me this: become more than you are to attract more than you want. So become more than you are to attract more than you want. You can have anything you want. You just have to become more than you are. And so when we think about that, this is a very profound statement and piece of advice that I give myself every day because I've had people let me down. I've had people tell me, "Hey, Anil, I want to date you and I want to spend the rest of my life with you." And they ran away when things got tough and they made a bunch of excuses and stories rather than weathering the storm with me because we were a team. and a partnership, and they decided to bail. So I didn't get mad. I've had business partners who said, "Yeah, no, let's do this. Here's my credit card. Let's go," and they vanished on me. Or they ran around spreading rumors that I took their money and I'm in a scam and I'm hurting people. So don't get mad, don't get bitter. Those people exist. And don't get even. Let those people go. Let that person that didn't want to spend the rest of their life with you and weather the storm and be at your side and figuring things out, let them go. Don't be even. Don't get even. Let me ask you a question. Would you rather be single and happy and without drama and conflict and agendas and games in your life? Or be with someone because you want to be with someone and you don't want to be alone and you rather have someone in your life to validate whatever you need validating or to prove to friends and family you're not a loser because you have someone and yet you're miserable, yet you're unhappy, yet you're compromising your principles and behind closed doors, you're a different human being than you are on stage or on camera. Is that how you want to live? Well, if you live like that, how is anything you're up to and creating gonna work? Is gonna last? Is gonna flourish? It's not. So don't get mad, don't get bitter, don't get even. That's all negative, toxic, narcissistic energy. Become so engulfed in your own happiness and success that you did not realize it happened. So be so engulfed in being a better quality person, being a better version of yourself. Even if you have to go it alone with no support from the people around you, do it because someone will support you. Someone will partner with you. Someone will join you. Someone will want to be on your journey because there's like-minded people out there. They just haven't connected with you yet because maybe you haven't raised your vibration and frequency up to a level as yet to connect with them. So spend time on that. Nobody wants to be around someone who's miserable. Nobody wants to be around someone who's not up to big things. People follow people with vision, not people with money and business. People follow people with vision that are happy and working on themselves and creating. They don't follow people with nice cars and nice homes and big bank accounts. So make sure your mindset is in the right place. Are you focused on your happiness? Are you focused on your peace of mind, your serenity? Are you focused on your health, your spirituality? Are you focused on those things? Or are you focused on, oh, look what I have, and look who I'm hanging out with, and look what I got, and look what I bought, and look at me, look at me, look at me, look how I am. Are you focused on that? Is that what, when people go on their social media, is that what they get about you? That you're about superficial bullshit? No, be different. Be at risk for the outcome. And be at the risk for the outcome as well also means you may not be popular. You may have to cut some people off. You may have to end some conversations with people. You may have to let some people go. Be that way. Because do you want whatever you're building to be quality and strong and that can last the storms and that can be so solid you can step away from it and 10 years from now it's still paying you? Do you want to be part of that? Or you want to build something rickety that has holes, that is not built on a strong foundation, that, a wind comes, it blows over. It can't last through stress and pressure and test. Do you want to build something like that? Well, I see a lot of people doing it and I look in from the outside and they want me to be a part of what they're up to. And I go, no, thanks. No, thanks. I don't see you focus on your happiness and your success. I see you focus on building something to impress other people and to look good and to prove a point because you're mad, bitter, and you want to get even. And you don't know you're running that subconscious program in your life. You don't realize it. However, you have to be someone who is open to taking on that conversation because not everybody wants to hear that. A lot of people, they don't want to be at risk for the outcome. They just want to be like the bull in the china shop. They just want to be helter-skelter and anything goes. And yeah, I want to partner with anybody. I want to date anybody. I want to hang out with anybody. I want to surround myself with anybody. That's their mindset. And yet they wonder, well, why is what I'm up into and building not where I want it to be? Why is it not advancing? Why is the money not coming in that I had intended? Why am I attracting no good, low quality, low vibration, low frequency people into my life? Why is that going on? Why? And that's because they've compromised themselves. They're not being at risk for the outcome. They pretend they're building something strong and substantial, but when you look in from the outside, it's not that way. So you want to be very careful with that. And so with the brand GOYA, GOYA stands for get off your ass. I've had to get off my ass in my life with certain aspects of my life for things to transform. There was a time in the past I didn't do business properly. I hung around people that didn't have my back. I did deals with people that cut me out. I hung around people that had an agenda. They were about themselves. They were not about me. I hung around people who stole from me. I hung around people who stuck knives in my back. I hung around people who said, babe, I got you. I ain't going anywhere. And they ran away and gave me a bunch of stories and excuses. I hung around business partners who were lazy, entitled. They wanted something for nothing, and they didn't really care about being a business partner. I came from that background. I even hung around ownership and people who said, Anil, don't worry, we're going to go to the billion and we got you no matter what. And then those people started treating me like garbage and started treating me like crap and stole from me and gave me ultimatums and were very abusive verbally to me. I came from that past. So do you think I want that now? Being at risk for the outcome? Hell no. Hell no. I'm being very carefully, walking carefully and carrying a big stick with who I deal with, what I get involved with, and what my daily actions are. Because I want to have success. I don't want to keep repeating the same crap from the past, attracting the same kind of people with the same no good attitude. That doesn't make sense. That would make me an idiot. That would make me a fool. That would make me dumb as rocks if I kept attracting the same bullshit over and over and over, yet justifying to myself, well, this time is different. This time things are going to be different. Well, how is it going to be different? You're repeating the same nonsense from the past and you're bringing it into the future. So unless you transform that way of being, then nothing will shift. Nothing will shift. So today I wanted to talk to you about being at risk for the outcome, because right now I'm up to something huge. It's growing by leaps and bounds. I'm playing at risk for the outcome. I'm always looking to partner with the right people. So message me, connect with me. Let's talk. Maybe what you're up to, I can collaborate with you. You can collaborate with me. Maybe we can join forces and create something. However, watch this video. I don't have time for crap. I don't have time for people with games and agendas. I don't have time for that nonsense in my life. So be very careful reaching out to me because I'm going to put you to the test. I'm going to be nice, but I'm going to test you. And I'm going to look into your life and find out, are you someone worthy of partnering with? Because I don't just partner with anybody. I don't just date anybody. I don't just jump into bed with anybody. I don't just bring anybody into my energy and my life because I don't have nothing else better to do. I'm very, very selective these days about who I hang around with because I went through crap in the past and I'm not going through that again because I'm truly playing a big game right now with the right people and the right things, and I'm being at risk for the outcome. Properly, succinctly, with velocity and intentionality, and dotting my I's and crossing my T's and walking carefully and carrying a big stick and being careful about garbage going in because garbage in, garbage out. Garbage in, garbage out. So I'm always taking out the trash. I'm taking out the trash with myself, with whoever I deal with and whatever I do. So this is Anil Ramtrader with the GOYA Mentorship. Just wanted to do a quick lesson today about being at risk for the outcome. Take a look. Take a look. Maybe there's one or two aspects of what I talked about today that can really be of benefit for you. And I hope today our lesson serves you powerfully. And again, I'm around. Reach out to me, message me. Maybe I can help get you realigned and on track. Maybe you've been derailed a little bit or out of performance or being ineffective or not generating what you want or your results are not coming in like you wanted or your business is shrinking. The money's not flowing. Maybe you've partnered with people that are not serving you properly. and you're like, why am I making these terrible choices with business partners? What's up with me? What's up with me? Because likeness attracts likeness. How am I attracting this into my life? Well, let's have a conversation. Maybe you need some mentorship. Maybe you need some direction. Because if you truly believe in your heart of hearts, what you're up to is the answer to people's prayers, then you would be at risk for the outcome. You would stop everything, take inventory, seek out the help, get the mentorship so you can get back on track from being derailed and get back into activity, becoming effective, being in production, being into performance, generating results, being happy, being successful, having peace of mind, serenity. You would make sure all those things are in alignment. Because if any of those things are in alignment, then nothing you put your hands to will ever work. Nothing. Because that's how energy works. That's how the universe works. The universe is not out of disorder. The universe is in perfect harmony and balance and works amazing. It's us, it's our lives that need alignment, not the universe. So get your ass in alignment. Get off your ass with what you need to get off your ass with. It's very simple. So that may require honest introspection, honest conversation, maybe someone pointing certain things out to you. You need to have an honest conversation with someone. And that's all it takes. And then you get yourself online and get back on track so you can move forward with velocity and intentionality. So this is a nil with the GOYA mentorship. Thanks for stopping in today and listening to my lesson around being at risk for the outcome and how that is super, super important with anything we're up to and creating. I wish you a wonderful day where you are. Be smart, make wise decisions, watch who you spend time with and hang out with. Not everybody's the same or appears to be who they are. Be very, very careful with that. Be very careful and be safe. Have a wonderful day, and we'll chat soon. Take care.